Thank you. I'll start that again. Joe, last name is Hallman, Hallman, Chief of Police with UW-Platteville Police Department. I'm going to read a brief prepared statement. I'm going to turn it over to Chancellor Evetovich and Provost Reynolds, and we're going to talk about a few things. But what I can tell you right now is that just before 4 p.m. this afternoon, a 911 call was received indicating a situation in Wilgus Hall, which is a residence hall here on campus. It was determined relatively soon that it was not an active, ongoing threat. Emergency personnel responded immediately. We activated our safety protocol and we alerted campus to shelter in place. We were assisted by Platteville City Police Department, Grant County Sheriff's Department, and Grant County Emergency Management. First and foremost, I'd like to point out that our concern is for our students and their safety. The shelter in place was cleared just after 5 o'clock when we confirmed that this was an isolated incident. I have to point out that this is an ongoing, active law enforcement investigation, and I really don't have a lot of specific details at this time as it's still very fluid. So at this point, I'm going to turn it over to Chancellor Evetovich, who's going to also offer a brief statement. After we're done with the statements, we can then open it up for questions.
Hello, my name is Tammy Evetovich, Evetovich. I'm the Chancellor of UW-Platteville. I just want to say our biggest concern at this point, first and foremost, is the safety and well-being of our students. There are so many people on campus right now who are doing everything they can to do just that. We are focused on you. We understand that you have a lot of questions, and we will answer what we can. But right now, what we have to focus on are those students who are impacted and support them in ways that only the people on this campus can do. And with that, I'll turn it over to the Provost to talk a bit more.
Thank you, Chancellor. My name is Dr. Laura Reynolds, Reynolds, and I'm the Provost and Vice Chancellor of Academic Affairs. So as the campus community received an email a few minutes ago that we have canceled final exams for the remainder of the week. We've canceled these final exams because, and this extends to both the Platteville and the Baraboo campus, because we are a close-knit community. Both the faculty and staff as well as the students need time to be together, need time to work through this together. We are deeply saddened and know this event has negative impact on our pioneers, and we know students will want to be able to focus on their own well-being and spend time with friends and families. I know you have questions about your courses ending, and we will manage that through the Office of the Dean of your college. That is not our priority right now. Our priority is your wellness and your well-being. Thank you.
Questions?
I understand that you can't give details about names and that sort of thing, but what exactly took place? What is it that you're investigating?
Well, it's just a difficult situation right now that we're investigating an incident that occurred within the Wilgus. And we're really not at liberty to go into all the details of that because it's an active, fluid investigation. We brought in some outside resources to assist us with this as well. We want to make sure we get it right. Yeah. Well, it's a residence hall, so presumably it was students, but that's one of the things we're still working on. I don't have that information. We are not self-dispatched. That would be through the Platteville Police Department.
Do you know of any weapons involved?
At this point, we're still investigating that.
What happened? Was anyone injured, taken off campus?
Well, there was a transport, but in order to protect their privacy at this point, we aren't releasing any other details at this point. We're still working on that.
What outside agencies involved in assisting?
Department of Criminal Investigations through the state. Since we are a state agency, we reached out to them to help us. And Platteville and the Sheriff's Department too, Grant County also assisted us initially.
Were there any fatalities in this incident?
We're still working on that.
Do you have any details of the incident that you can share? You know, we've received some reports, a lot of word of mouth is very, very similar. What can you let us know, I guess, for peace of mind for individuals that are here?
Well, it was isolated, as I said, so that should give some pause, I would hope. It's something that we were there immediately to look into. And I'm not deliberately being vague. I apologize for that. But as I said, we want to make sure we get it right and protect the privacy of the individuals that were involved in this.
Do you have an idea of when the details or more details of this will be released?
We're probably going to be releasing some more tonight, I believe, but I don't know to what extent and what details that we'll be releasing. Yeah.
Shifting to academia, how will this affect, in the coming days, we've got sponsors and engineers for senior design projects and graduation coming up. How will this impact that?
Well, commencement occurred already, so that's taken care of. Senior design projects, sponsors, we had some events on campus. The events on campus have been canceled, and the Office of the Dean of each college is ready to address the senior design group projects, papers to be submitted. Some of those can be done indirectly, but that office will manage that. There's so many varied situations on this campus that it's impossible to address it as a whole. Thank you for understanding.
Seems like a lot of students might have been moving out during this time, maybe families in town helping them with this move-out process. Are there a lot of people in town who might have witnessed this, and what is your message to the families who had to see police presence and here on campus?
Yeah, there's a lot of people that are concerned about this right now, and that is what we're focused on, is supporting them, you know, supporting our students, supporting our campus community, our faculty, staff, and any members of the public. That's what we're focused on right now.
What resources are available for them?
Hi, good evening. Amber Monroe, M-O-N-R-O-E. I'm the Dean of Students, and so we are making counseling services available. We'll have triage from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. For all students starting tomorrow through Friday, and then for those who are directly impacted, they're getting individual communication as to how they can access counseling directly this evening.
You mentioned this incident happened in a residence hall. Can you confirm if it was in one dorm, in a common space?
I can confirm that it's in Wilgus Hall, so it was in Wilgus Hall residence.
Just confirming, they said one was, or it said someone was transported, that was an ambulance transport to the hospital?
Someone was transported. As I said, we're still working on notifications and other things and investigations, so it's still very fluid. And
Can you tell us the nature of those injuries for that individual since they did?
I don't have that information.
You're planning to hold another press conference tonight, so I know you said you might be releasing more information, or when can we get the update?
University will make official statements on their webpage. I don't know if we're going to have another conference tonight. I doubt it at this point because we still have a lot of work to do.
For students that reside in that residence hall that are still living on campus, what arrangements are being made for them? What's going to happen for students that live in that building?
We're working on accommodations for all the students in that building.
Understand if you can't say, but can you say whether there was a gun recovered at the scene?
I can't say at this point.
Can you say whether the Grant County coroner was involved?
Not while I was there. That would have to be determined if weapons were involved.
Could you elaborate a little bit on what the weapons policy is here?
Weapons are not allowed in residence halls, and typically we store weapons down at the police department in our vault for students that may be in trap shooting clubs and things like that. You can have them on campus, and we recommend that you don't keep them in your car, and obviously they can't be in residence halls.
Was that policy violated today?
As I said, we're still investigating that, so we'll have more.
Obviously, there are a lot of people that are concerned about what happened today. The room is overflowing here in the other rooms, and we're all here as well. What can you tell us about this incident? I understand that it is a sensitive topic, but I think we're all in the same boat for the safety and peace of mind, especially for out-of-state parents as well. What can you tell us about this isolated incident that can maybe give some relief to the situation for students in this room?
Well, I think you hit on it by saying that it's an isolated incident. I mean, that, and first and foremost, we're concerned with the safety and welfare of our students. I'm not deliberately trying to be vague. I'm trying to figure out what's going on, and that's why we brought in outside resources. As I said, we want to make sure we get it right. So that's where we're at right now. From the initial investigation and response. Yeah.
Approximate time of when you guys were first notified about the incident?
I don't have that information, but it was pretty immediate that the officer was there, I believe.
Is anyone in custody?
No.
Do you know if the individuals involved or did know each other?
I don't know that.
If there's not a threat to the campus right now and there's nobody in custody, can you elaborate how students are safe? Is there somebody still out there potentially?
No, there's no ongoing threat to this campus. We have officers. I called in extra staff, extra personnel. We have our other outside agencies will be on campus tonight and next few days, depending on what we do with finals. We'll have a heavy presence just to assure everyone that we're here in case they want to talk to us. Anything else?
As the provost indicated, the finals have been canceled for the remainder of the week. The campus is not closed, so we have support services here for you. And I ask you all to reach out should you need help, should you need to talk. Ask somebody. If you have questions about your classes, reach out to the dean, reach out to the faculty. We're here for you. Primarily through email, but again, if you have questions, reach out to the college dean or somebody. Ask. We're here to help.
How will it look since we got our finals canceled? How will it affect their grades? Will there be something that compensates for it, or are we going to do it later?
I think that's going to be a case-by-case basis, having those types of conversations, but I'll let the provost elaborate on that.
Again, there's no one answer for that because everyone's scenario is so different. So we're going to move through that in the same way we did when there was COVID, the same way we do when there's weather events, right? We're going to work through each step with each individual. The understanding is that if we're not holding finals, you aren't held to that in the following semester or something like that. So does that answer? Okay.
How will this affect you out for the rest of the week? Because obviously, with this incident happening in the finals, everyone's going to be moving out between Monday and Wednesday. So
We're,
how will that look for the rest of the campus?
yeah, we have residence life staff working on that. I do ask that people be patient because as move out happens, you know, when you have a mass exodus, like what's going to happen at the end of this semester anyway, that takes some coordination. So just be patient and work with the residence life staff.
So some classes already help find this today, and some of the other classes, for the same course, have perhaps not taken their final. What is that going to do for, like, would that be kind of unfair for people that are here today?
No, I I understand, and it's a valid question that we all debated, but we'll work with the faculty members, the folks that have sat for exams, and that will be something that the Office of the Dean will work out, right, to make sure that we provide as much equity and as much parity as we can across these experiences while still giving you lots of room for your own wellness and well-being, and we hope that you will make room for that in your understanding. And no solution here is perfect, right? But we want to opt toward what prioritizes you as students. So, that enough? Yes?
Will the textbook center be open for longer hours, considering a lot of people probably go home tomorrow?
Yes, actually, that's a great question, and we're looking at extending a lot of availability and hours across different venues on campus, so we will make sure I'll note that. And if you have any questions on that, give them a call. I don't think that we've been able to post or establish those hours yet, but we will work with you, and if you can't make it to drop your textbooks off, we will figure that out, okay? That's a little thing.
With that being said, student faculty, how would that work for them? If you're going to extend hours?
I'm sorry?
If you had, like, student faculty, let's say that works at the textbook center, are they going to have to work longer hours? Is that something we're going to have to figure out with our departments?
I'll work on that. I don't know the answer to that right now, but if I have to work the textbook center, I'll work the textbook center. Next.
Our Residence Life is sending out emails, particularly to Wilgus Hall residents, so I would expect more clarity on that. I think we will, as possible, figure that out.
Incidents on college campuses are increasingly common nationally. I wonder if you could outline like steps you all have taken to plan for this sort of thing in recent years, and if you feel like those plans work.
Scenario planning is something we do regularly. In fact, we had one this morning as a group, not on this type of scenario, but we do it regularly to prepare for that. And so we think of a lot of different things that may come up, but we certainly can't plan for everything, but we do training on it regularly. And I think it did help us in this instance. I think one of the strengths of UW-Platteville is we are small enough to support you personally, so that I ask you all to take advantage of that. We have so many people that will be here for you, and so we just ask that you share with us what you need, because we take care of each other on this campus.